The Defense of Marriage Act, or DOMA for short, has barred the ability for many years for gay and lesbian spouses to sponsor their same-sex spouse for a marriage-based green card, even if the marriage was legally entered into in a state where gay marriage was valid and legal. DOMA defines marriage for purposes of federal benefits to be between only a man and a woman. But in 2013, in a landmark case, United States versus Windsor, the U.S. Supreme Court decided that DOMA's interpretation of how marriage and spouse is defined as to only apply to heterosexuals was unconstitutional under the Due Process Clause of the Fifth Amendment. This opened up opportunities for immigration sponsorship that had been forever denied to gay and lesbian couples. But it also came with some unanswered questions on how to apply its holding in practice, especially in green card interviews. The Windsor case involved a same-sex couple who had been lawfully married in Canada in 2007, who were now living in New York. When one of the spouses died in 2009, she left her entire estate to her spouse, who then sought to claim the federal estate tax exemption for surviving spouses, which was universally available to heterosexual spouses. The IRS found that DOMA blocked the recognition of their marriage, and thus she was subject to over $363,000 in estate taxes. But she would not be subject to this if the marriage was recognized as legitimate under the law. So she filed a lawsuit in 2009 challenging DOMA's constitutionality and requested a refund of the tax payment because she received differential treatment compared to heterosexual couples in the same exact situation, and there was just no legal justification for this type of discrimination. As a result of this case, it is now possible for gay couples who have been legally married abroad or in a state that recognizes gay marriage to sponsor the immigrant spouse for a green card. Typically, immigration will defer to the law or family code of the jurisdiction or state where someone has married to determine whether or not the marriage itself is valid for immigration purposes. So as long as the state where the couple was married recognizes gay marriage, now immigration will as well. The difficulty is that there are few states that recognize gay marriage, and many couples have gone out of their state to another state such as California or New York or Massachusetts to be legally able to marry there. As a result, many states have barred gay marriage, also criminalized or refused to recognize any gay marriage that has been entered into outside of their state by any of their own state's residents. However, CIS, a federal agency, follows the law on the federal level. Because DOMA was overturned, CIS has announced that even in states where the state bans gay marriage or will not recognize a gay marriage entered into in another state by its own residents, CIS will still recognize the marriage as valid, as long as the marriage wasn't entered into under the laws of the state where the couple were married just to avoid immigration laws or was somehow obtained fraudulently. So, for instance, if someone is living in Indiana, where the state does not recognize gay marriage, and they go to Boston for the weekend and get married in Boston, and Boston doesn't have any formal requirements for getting married there, such as residency requirement for a certain amount of time, then even the state of Indiana will not actually recognize the marriage, but CIS will. I am an expert in complex family-based immigration cases and have a 98% approval rate for the past 12 years. I am a nationally published immigration author and frequent public speaker on immigration topics. I regularly train other immigration lawyers on complicated marriage and family immigration cases for the American Immigration Lawyers Association, Federal Bar Association, and National Legal Education Providers. I represent clients all over the U.S., traveling to immigration interviews and deportation proceedings. Visit our website, humanrightsattorney.com, for more in-depth information and articles on complex family immigration issues.